I believe that so many Africans don't even understand when it comes to the word borderless Africa. Because what I understand is that whenever you try to talk about borderless Africa, a lot of Africans are scared because of our security. Borderless does not mean that cut down the borders.
So a borderless Africa doesn't have to mean chaos. If the right policies are in place, we can have both open borders and protection.
There's one African passport. That's what it means, okay? And one African passport may mean that I still hold my Ghana passport, but it's first and foremost an AU passport. It may have Ghana on it, but it's an AU passport. And it means that I can travel across the continent with it, or I can travel across the continent with my ID card. I don't need a visa, okay? That's the first thing about borderless Africa. Borderless Africa means that I can apply for a job in any country. And when I get a job, I can move there. And I don't need to apply for citizenship and the rest of it. I can begin the process of acting like a citizen. You may not allow me to vote, it may not matter to me that much. A borderless Africa means you can get up and go and set up business wherever you want, so long as you can create a market for it. A borderless Africa means that there will be no customs at the borders who extort money from us.
Rwanda currently offers visa-free for all Africans visiting the country, and business is really booming. Your Excellency, why can't all countries in Africa follow the suit?
In ECOWAS, we have it. ECOWAS, if you fly into Nigeria, you don't need a visa. I agree with you that the borders and the parochial things that the people do there it's not sanctioned. I mean, these are corrupt individuals who try to take advantage of a situation. Otherwise, in ECOWAS, we should be able to travel to and from each other's countries without paying anything. The passport control or whatever control is just for record purposes and to capture the statistics of how people go back and forth. But otherwise, you're not supposed to pay anything. And I do think that we should sanction people like that.
I feel like it's so difficult for an African to travel within Africa. Do you feel the same way?
Yes, I do, and I suffer it. And I just got back from Namibia, and obviously there's no direct flight from Accra to Windhoek, so I had to go through Joburg. And I used 2 passports. From Accra to Windhoek, it was easier for me to apply online with my Ghanaian passport. But to get through Joburg, it was easier to use a British passport.
So, which means that even in Africa, our passports are useless.
In some places, I wouldn't go as far as say useless, but in some places, using European passport gives you easy access from one African country to the other.
The saddest part of the visa restrictions among Africans is the fact that even in Africa, animals move freely than Africans themselves. Because I was in Masai Mara, and it was easy for the animals to move from Masai Mara to Serengeti, and from Serengeti back to Masai Mara. Africa was partitioned, divided by Europeans. Have you ever been to Europe? Do you live in Europe? Is it so difficult for you to travel within Europe with your Schengen visa or your European passport?
I lived in Europe when they created the EU. I lived in Europe, and before that, even driving, it was difficult for me to drive from Berlin West to Berlin East. And I lived in Europe, and I could drive. As kids, sometimes we used to drive maybe from Duisburg or from Düsseldorf in Germany to Amsterdam to go and party. But you go through borders. And I lived and saw that I could drive from Germany all the way to France without stopping at any border.